Do you want sex with an 18-year-old? It's easy, way too easy, not because you're irresistible, not because you're a seduction genius, but because we live in a time where the body is sold faster than a book, where nudity is a strategy, and where self-worth is measured in OnlyFans subscribers. Today, an 18-year-old girl doesn't need to be out on the street to be on display. She's already a store window. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, every story is an auction. Every like is a ticket. Every pose becomes a price. Every glance, a marketplace. You barely even need to talk. You look, you like, you suggest. She'll fall for it, not because you're powerful, but because she's already in free fall. And here's the truth. No media will dare tell you. It's not that men have become more perverse. It's that we're drenched 24/7 in nudity served up as content. We're just reacting to whatever's handed to us. Men are visual. Now the sexual market is a giant storefront. They put themselves on display. We click. So ask yourself the real question. Who's selling? Who's buying? Who's responsible? If you really want to see the core of the problem, not just the symptoms, follow along. Because here we scratch the facade. Here we talk truth. Here we disturb. In the softly lit darkness of teenage bedrooms, on Parisian balconies, on bus seats, under the fluorescent lights of fast food joints, a quiet revolution has crept in, where desire once required effort and patience. Sex has stepped down from its old pedestal. What used to be earnest, anticipated, even dreamt of with aching tension, is now as routine as a hit of nicotine or a swipe on TikTok. Where did the climb of desire go? The effort of a held gaze, the stumbling first touch, the vulnerability of awkwardness. Pleasure lies not in the achievement, but in the anticipation, Seneca reminded us, pointing to the nobility of delayed gratification, to the chemistry patiently built. But today, it's enough to show up looking fresh, not traditionally handsome, but put together, coordinated, accessorized. Who cares about worn-out socks if your watch catches the light and your Nikes are crisp? Minds have swallowed a new gospel. To seduce, you don't have to persuade. Just exist briefly in someone's peripheral vision, caught by an app, a glance across a glossy screen. The most striking shift is how merit has flipped. There's no need to talk well, or handle your awkwardness with pride, or open up with honest intention. Before, you needed the guts to ask someone for coffee, to endure the risk of rejection, to build a conversation sturdy enough to rise above the bland. Now, hit reply on 3 Instagram stories with the right emoji. Drop a few photos from a festival with flattering light. Rent an Airbnb. Order Uber Eats and a bottle of pink gin. And there's the whole journey. Everything's folded into a chill moment, negotiated in 30 messages. She comes over, drinks to soften the tension, laughs to fill the gaps. Tension collapses on a bed. Sheets tousled too soon, curtain down before midnight. No buildup, no memory. Achievement is immediate. The climb is gone, and so is any curiosity about what's happening behind half-closed eyes. It's not about who charms slowly anymore, but who offers the shiniest illusion, an ambiance, a showcase effect, the Instagrammable glow of a 24-hour experience. Men aren't chosen for character, for listening, for proven strength. The only requirement is being clean on trend. That guy who never chases but is always there if luck comes to call. Style is all. The times demand packaging, not foundation. Value isn't what you are. It's how you present yourself. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the whole of human life is but a point. All its substance is a swirling current. Its sensations are blurred. The structure of the body perishable, the soul fickle, destiny mysterious, fame uncertain. Now, all social life seems like just that, a current, one image flickering into another, hoping for a like, a reaction, a fleeting thrill. Women aren't immune to this marketplace logic. Many want to be desired not for who they are, but for the stage they set. They watch the light, coordinate outfits and nails, show their curves at the perfect angle, flaunt miniskirts, tight dresses, tongue out between 2 perfumes and 3 videos. They know their attention capital rises with bare skin. Clothing liberates, but it also exposes. Modesty looks like weakness now. Girls vie to show the most without crossing into crude, dancing on the edge of provocation. Deep necklines at after-work parties, thigh-high slits at festivals, the shortest dresses for birthday stories. Who would turn down the game when Instagram's algorithm rewards a hint of skin with waves of hearts and spicy DMs? He who turns away from nature, Seneca warned, forges for himself new chains. Modern women's chains are made of suggestion, carefully studied outfits, overexposed glances, and deep dependence on digital validation. What once was given to one man now sells to the crowd. Fragmented, monetized, piecemeal. In this digital bazaar of attraction, lines between proximity and commodification blur. OnlyFans takes it to its endpoint. Showing your body used to be a rare act, secret, chosen, a first time that sealed a pact between 2 people. Now, intimacy is traded for subscriptions from thousands, sometimes for just a few bucks a month. Nudity, once a sign of shared reciprocity, is now a paid service tailored for customer whim. Girls put themselves directly on sale, maximizing attraction with edits, filters, customization, all while maintaining a feminine Instagram feed to court other audiences. Even the illusion of a relationship is born there. You pay, she calls you babe or king. She answers your messages on live stream, simulates chemistry. The fantasy of total belonging is available for $50 a month. The sense of exclusivity on demand. Recognition dissolves in the anonymous stream of subscriptions. And many guys think they finally run the show. Sex seemingly just a click away, simplified, mass-produced, requiring no work or responsibility. But these men aren't conquerors, they're just consumers, used to almost limitless supply, constantly overstimulated by streams of sexy profiles, multiplied by the non-stop reach of social media. They scroll from body to body with the jaded ease of supermarket shoppers. It's not the hunt, it's a reaction to the market. Desire is shaped by abundance. Swipe left, swipe right. If she doesn't click, move on. When the algorithm doesn't instantly serve up a ready candidate, there's always more and more again until you're numb. Hunting is dead. Foraging is the new game. It's not the thing itself that troubles men, Epictetus said, but their opinions about it. Conditioned by the flood of available bodies, men no longer seek uniqueness, only novelty and convenience. From the other side of the screen, women's approach unravels too. Many want the lifestyle of grown women, but with none of the story. The destination is desired without the trip. Photos in Mykonos, Dubai, or Ibiza, minus discipline, hustle, late-night failures. Results before process, the Instagram shoot before real-life learning. Bumps and bruises are erased. Only victory is shown. Never sweat. Posing, mimicry. The influencer's attitude replaces actual effort. Girls learn to seduce on the surface, to become clickbait, but almost nobody asks what will be left to show when the market moves on. The gaze shifts. Adapt yourself to things for which you are prepared, so that nothing takes you by surprise, Marcus Aurelius urged. But who prepares themselves for the loneliness that comes from endless exposure, for the emptiness left by no real investment? So relationships become only transactions. You want pleasure, she wants recognition. You offer the illusion of interest. She gives up a bit of her body, and that's as deep as it goes. The content doesn't matter, just the exchange. Friday night, she's here to soothe anxiety. You're here to kill your boredom. Intimacy cuts itself off from emotional effort and the desire to build. Partners slip over each other, smooth, frictionless, with no intent to cling. Each meeting follows a script. Drinks first, a playlist everyone knows, an hour's chat about surface-level wounds, a well-timed confession. As soon as emotion bubbles up, sex jumps in, eager to hide the cracks, using bodies to numb what the soul can't stand to feel alone. Few still take the time to really learn another, to endure the slow build-up, the hard talk, the risk of silence. Every act is signed in the language of forgetting. You use the other to avoid thinking about yourself. She gives to forget what makes her doubt. The next day, the dance resets. New masks, ready to face practiced indifference, to orchestrate the pause with that tired refrain. We'll see where it goes. But nothing ever goes anywhere because nothing is built to have weight. The word love slowly loses all meaning. What was once a gift, a slow shared construction, dissolves in a ballet of defensive maneuvers and compensatory illusions. Seneca would have called it a deep moral decline. Of all possessions, only virtue is inalienable. Everything else is only lent precariously. Love, no longer built on virtue but urgency, leaves no trace, no memory, no shared growth. Beneath the varnish, the ring of online life reveals, above all, a massive loneliness and confusion of souls. Never has the ability to make contact been so magnified. Never has the inability to build something lasting been so plain. Women convinced they control their own image become prisoners of algorithmic logic. The more they reveal, the more they think they command attention, but the more digital recognition stretches, the more they become slaves to the endless, fickle, insatiable gaze. What's loved isn't who they are, but what they show. Identity dilutes day by day. Every post chips away at self-esteem. What a real revelation, a chosen offering might have strengthened. Men rack up conquests, subscriptions. The thrill is less with every dawn. The illusion of efficiency comes at the price of a persistent emptiness. Behind every kiss, a sigh. Behind every night, that growing weariness. It's no longer the joy of discovering another, but flight from reality, the avoidance of effort, the fear of emptiness. We're twisting through a spiral of multiplying scenarios as real feeling dissolves. External things are not in our power. It's the ascent of our own soul that gives us freedom, Epictetus wrote. But modern ascent is only surrender to the flood of images, passive acceptance that beauty, intimacy, emotion only have value in the instant, never for the long term. In the end, easy sex, so often celebrated, is not victory over another. It's not heroic, not even a performance. Every night spent like an hour under neon, every bare minimum exchange is simply the price of collective convenience. The guy who picks up easily hasn't won anything. He's lost the savor of anticipation, the climb, the nervousness. He's learned to use, never to understand. That the girl who chases validation ends up watching her own self-worth melt under the harsh light of disposable gazes. Their connection isn't triumph, it's abdication. They think they're filling the silence, but only grow more empty inside. True decline begins when we mistake lack of challenge for victory, lack of engagement for freedom. When sex becomes routine, exchange is a reflex, and the drive for pleasure replaces the anxiety of existing. Love becomes absurd, meaning slips away. What thrives in effort and waiting crumbles. It's not because you can sleep around that you've won. It's because there's no obstacle left that everything becomes empty. Seneca would end this way. What matters isn't a long life, but a deep one. But we've traded depth for speed. And in this rampant exchange, between the scantily dressed girl and the insatiable man, all that remains is a vast emptiness, flavorless, unearned. Not passion, not conquest, not memory guides the flesh now, only escape, fear, and forgetting. And slowly, everyone slides into decline, convinced they've broken their chains, but all they've done is abandoned themselves.